now we can begin.
Yes.
Except I need to bring Celine in
begins.
as a person, a real life person.
Are we doing
not
a
a
person
joke.
or a ghost this time?
Well, right now it's looking pretty ghastly.
Yes.
As long as you don't ghost us on it.
Oh, you are a ghost this time.
Ooh.
I see. My haunting appearance has returned.
Well, it's nice because we can see through you into the book.
That is kind of
Ooh.
useful, yeah. I approve. I'll just have to be transparent with your audience.
Yep. So true. So true. Welcome everybody to the Digital Dojo, where we challenge, cooperate, and meditate. Usually on the video games. Tonight, we're meditating on this wonderful text of Homer's, the ancient Odyssey. Book 6.
Yes.
Here is my reading renegade, my, what do we call you in the server? What do we call each other? This is my radical renegade.
Fellow radical renegade.
In fellowship. Introduce
In
yourself.
the feathers. Yes.
In the feathers.
Hello, I'm Belgique, the Bartsquell. Here in the Feywild, educator, husband, and father. Taking a break from co-working for like a little bit to do some reading. And yeah. Welcome to the stream.
And our other esteemed guest, a member of the Real Cool Renegades, of the Reading Renegades. Introduce yourself.
Very well. My name is Celine Heidelman. Hello, everyone, and welcome in. I do my own reading streams as well as playing older video games that don't have voice work so that I can voice them myself. I have a fairly wide vocal range, so if you hear someone who isn't quite the same,
we're not entirely certain who spoke.
there's a good chance it was me. Oh, thank
Clapping.
you. The applause is
Can
always
I
appreciated.
wonder if they can hear the Discord clapping through the stream. I bet they can.
I sincerely hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The clapping really sold it.
Well, folks, how was your week?
Let's see.
Wow. don't all clap at
Verb
once.
had hand, foot, and mouth this week.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh,
So
heck.
Yeah. So I mean, it was better than the last time she had it. Not as much stuff going on with it, but we did have to reschedule her birthday party and baptism stuff, which is
Oh.
fine because I think there'd be like a lot of stuff to do right in the very start of the summer. But yeah, we chilled at home Thursday and we started watching Pokemon together. And so she's been enjoying it. Like right when Pikachu popped up on the screen, she said Pikachu. So I think
so
we're off to a good
cute.
start. Yeah.
I love
How about
that.
y'all?
Celine, go for it.
Alright. I mean, I survived. It was a short work week, which was appreciated because I really wasn't looking being able to do a full week anyway. But no, mostly just rolling on. Trying to keep my head up and make sure that I'm attending to everything that needing attending to. Some days that is more of a struggle than others, but you know, if we didn't have hard weeks, it wouldn't be nearly as easy to appreciate the good weeks.
Exactly. I agree.
But what about you, Satil?
What about me? I've been really enjoying my stereo setup at work. I've salvaged a bunch of audio equipment and bringing in my vinyls from home. And yeah, it's been so good. People come by my office and they're like, "This is the coolest thing ever," and I'm like, "I know." So we listened to a bit of Carole King and Tony Bennett, courtesy of my uncle's and grandfather's vinyl record collection that I've inherited. And I even brought it in because it's on like a little powered cart. I even brought it into our all-staff meeting, and everybody greatly enjoyed that. The sounds of flamenco and all this good stuff, you know. I'm really vibing with it, and it gives me a chance to listen to music the way I prefer. It's really, alongside being like a fun novelty, like I'm just an album listener through and through. I get the full story,
Yeah.
I get the full vibe of that artist's work, and I feel like it is not so much appreciated anymore in the same way. So that made me really happy. And otherwise, I had a tennis lesson today. Oh, and I had a stream earlier today with Isaac and Khan, doing some more reading, visual novel style, with Hotel Desk Room 215. We really, really love our Saturdays. And we're getting closer to finishing that mystery. And my tennis lesson went really well. I've been doing a lot of great progress in tennis. And the new league starts Monday. So I am exciting. I'm excited. Yeah, I see that, Celine, but I don't like hear anything coming through on your end, but it's fine. It just happens.
Just part of life.
So yeah, that's the story so far. That's the story, Wishbone.
Wishbone.
I never watched that, honestly. Oh, and
It's a show.
obviously I had my weekly anime night on Wednesdays. We love those.
Oh yeah.
Yep. We're continuing watching Chie the Brat, which is ever so delightful. Really good, like, comedy drama vibes, you know?
Yeah.
It's about a young girl who runs an offal stand.
A what stand?
Offal, grilled offal.
Oh, I
O-F-F-A-L.
thought you said oval at first, and I was confused.
So you're talking guts that have been...
Yes. Yeah, it's like
Okay.
it's a Japanese delicacy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Alright, now
We
I can
have
figure it out.
similar stuff in the Jewish tradition, like kishka. I think it's kishka. It's pretty good. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. It's directed by Isao Takahata, which is one of my favorite directors, and most well known for stuff like Grave of the Fireflies and Pompoko. And his final film, Tale of Princess Kaguya, which I recently saw in the theater. Really, really good. And yeah, that's the vibe. That's me.
Well, fantastic.
Thanks for sharing with us.
Yes.
I was thinking that if I had any extra vinyls here, I could send. I don't know if I have any.
You would,
for
don't
duplicate.
send me your vinyl. Hold on to that and use your own
What?
record player.
But if I got duplicates, you know.
Okay.
You just want it going on record.
I want it going on record.
Sorry, I shouldn't needle you.
Hey, I'm real amped up about this.
Ah, the tables have turned. I've got a pun to deal with now.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
How can I compete with you two?
Ah,
just
you're not
music
feeling up
ears,
to
isn't it?
scratch. Both of us
Gotta
have
catch him on the
won.
flip side.
Oh my gosh. Genius.
Besides, we've got other things to read.
Classic.
B-sides, I get it.
Thank you. It's good
It was
to know I've still got some
funny.
good ones up my sleeve.
Gosh dang it, why is everything a pun, and English is so diverse with this?
It is, and
Yeah.
Daddy wanted me to grow up to be a villainess, so I've got the evil laugh and I've got the puns, and that's about where I stop.
All right.
A good place for the witty banter for sure.
All right, y'all. Well, without further ado, are you ready to dive into a good book?
Yes.
Always.
Ooh, and
What do we want turn order to
coincidentally,
look like?
I've been listening to. I just ordered the vinyl for Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, the soundtrack, and so this this book is about her namesake Nausicaa, which is really cool, and I'm excited. I listened to the Nausicaa soundtrack in the car today through Spotify, so I'm excited for that. Oh, and I also ordered Eco, the soundtrack to Eco, which is one of my favorite games, and I'm hoping.
The one with the kid with horn?
It's like art. It's like art house Zelda, basically. It's really good.
It kind of is, yeah.
I love it so much. Oh, Baljeet, what happened?
I think I probably clicked off of the app because I realized I didn't post the live message.
Oh no.
Okay. Because now we're not sharing the chat.
Hold
Oh
on.
no.
Oh, it's
Let
waiting
me-
for me to.
Oh, it says awaiting
Success
response.
request.
It's waiting for you to come home, Baljeet. Return to us.
Wait, did you send me a response or did you?
I can do it again.
Oh wait, there it is. Oh, I got it. I see it.
Okay.
Continue.
Let me start sharing
Okay.
chat. There we go. Alright. Sweetness. Sweetness, I was only joking when I said we're going to read the Odyssey Book 6. Okay. What was our order last time?
Last time it was you, Baljeet, and then me.
Okay, let's do it.
Alrighty.
Book 6. Nausicaa, going to a river near that place to wash the clothes of her father, mother, and brethren. While the clothes were drying, played with her maids at ball, and Odysseus coming forth is fed and clothed, and led on his way to the house of her father, King Alcinous. Alcinous?
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 Alcinous.
Alcinous?
Alcinous.
Alcinous?
So, Alcinu. So there he lay asleep, the steadfast goodly Odysseus, fordone with toil and drowsiness. Meanwhile, Athena went to the land and the city of Phoenicians, who of old, upon a time, dwelt in spacious Hyperia. Near the Cyclopes they dwelt, men exceeding proud, who harried them continually, being mightier than they. Thence the godlike Nausithous made them depart, and he carried them away and planted them in Shira, far off from men that lived by bread. And he drew a wall around the town, and builded houses, and made temples for the gods, and meted out fields. Howbeit, ere this had he been stricken by fate, and had gone down to the house of Hades, and now Alcinous was reigning, with wisdom granted by the gods. To his house went the goddess, grey-eyed Athena, devising return for the great-hearted Odysseus. He betook her to the rich-wrought bower, wherein was sleeping a maiden like to the gods in form and comeliness, Nausicaa, the daughter of Alcinous, high of heart. Beside her, on either hand of the pillars of the door, were two handmaids, dowered with beauty from the Graces, and the shining doors were shut. But the goddess, fleet as the breath of wind, swept towards the couch of the maiden, and stood above her, and spake in the semblance of the daughter of a famous seafarer, Demas, a girl of like age with Nausicaa, who had found grace in her sight. In her shape the great-eyed Athena spake to the princess, saying... Oh, we didn't reset the spake counter.
I think it's okay. I'm thinking like the total amount of times we said it since we started the
It's
counting.
gonna be cumulative. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't
Full
think it counted
Metal-
mine anyway. That works
Full
out.
Metal Alchemist, I say. Full Metal Alchemist.
Nausicaa, how hath thy mother so heedless a maiden to her daughter? Lo, thou hast shining raiment that lies by thee uncared for, and thy marriage day is near at hand, when thou thyself must needs go beautifully clad, and have garments to give to them who shall lead thee to the house of the bridegroom. And behold, these are the things whence a good report goes abroad among men, wherein mightier than they, that's the godly, mightier than they. Then, thence the godlike Nausithous made them depart, and he carried them away and planted them in Syria, far off from men that live by.
Where are
did I
you?
not-
Yeah, you've missed
I
like
thought-
6 or
nope,
7 lines.
I clicked. I thought I clicked. I did not click. I'm gonna try again. And behold, these are the things whence a good report goes abroad among men, wherein a father and lady mother take delight. But come, let us arise and go a washing with the breaking of the day, and I will follow with thee to be thy mate in the toil, that without delay thou mayest get thee ready. Since truly thou art not long to be a maiden, lo, already they are wooing thee, the noblest youths of all the Phaeacians, among that people whence thou thyself dost draw the lineage. So come, beseech thy noble father betimes in the morning to furnish thee with mules and a wain to carry the men's raiment, and the robes and the shining coverlets. Yea, and for thyself it is seemlier far to go thus on foot, for the places where we must wash are a great way off the town. Full Metal Alchemist.
So spake the grey-eyed Athena, and departed to Olympus, where, as they say, is the seat of the gods that standeth fast forever. Not by winds is it shaken, nor ever wet with rain, nor doth the snow come nigh thereto, but most clear air is spread about it, cloudless, and the white lights floats over it. There the blessed gods are glad for all their days, and thither Athena went when she had shown forth all to the maiden. Anon came the throned dawn, and awakened Nausicaa of the fair robes, who straightway marvelled on the dream, and went through the halls to tell her parents, her father and dear mother, and she found them within, her mother sitting by the hearth with the woman in her handmaids, spinning yarn of sea-purple stain, but her father she met as he was going forth to the renowned kings in their council, whither the noble Phaeacians called him. Standing closer by her deaf father, she spake, saying, Father, dear, couldst thou not lend me a high wagon with strong wheels, that I may make the goodly raiment to the river to wash, so much as I have been lying soiled? Yea, and it is seemly that thou thyself, when thou art with the princes in council, should have fresh raiment to wear. Also, there are 5 dear sons in thine in the halls, 2 married, but 3 are lusty bachelors, and these are always eager for new washen garments wherein to go to the dances. For all these things have I taken thought. This she said because she was ashamed to speak of glad marriage to her father, but he saw all and answered, saying,
Neither the mules nor aught else do I grudge thee, my child. Go thy ways, and the thralls shall get thee ready a high wagon with good wheels, and fitted with an upper frame, full metal alchemy.
Full Metal Alchemist. Therewith he called to his men, and they gave ear. And without the palace they made ready the smooth-running mule wain, and led the mules beneath the yoke, and harnessed them under the car, while the maiden brought forth from her bower the shining raiment. This she stored in the polished car, and her mother filled a basket with all manner of food to the heart's desire. Dainties too she set therein, and she poured wine into a goatskin bottle, while Nausicaa climbed into the wain. And her mother gave her soft olive oil also in a gold crusade? Do we know this word?
Can you highlight it real quick?
C-R-U-S-E.
I'm guessing it's an awkward spelling of cruise.
Mm-hmm. That she and her maidens might anoint themselves after the bath. Then Nausicaa took the whip and the shining reins and touched the mules to start them. And then there was a clatter of hoofs, and on they strained without flagging, with their load of the raiment and the maiden. Not alone did she go, for her attendants followed with her. Now, when they were come to the beautiful stream of the river, where truly were the unfailing cisterns, and bright water welled up free from beneath and flowed past, enough to wash the foulest garments clean. There the girls unharnessed the mules from under the chariot, and turning them loose, they drove them along the banks of the eddying river to graze on the honey-sweet clover. Then they took the garments from the wain in their hands, and bore them to the black water, and briskly trod them down in the trenches in busy rivalry. Now, when they had washed and cleansed all the stains, they spread all out in order along the shore of the deep, where even the sea, in beating on the coast, washed the pebbles clean. Then, having bathed and anointed them well and with olive oil, they took their midday meal on the river's banks, waiting till the clothes should dry in the brightness of the sun. Anon, when they were satisfied with food, the maidens and the princess, they fell to playing at ball, casting away their tires, and among them Nausicaa of the white arms began the song. And even as Artemis the archer moveth down the mountain, either along the ridges of the lofty Taygetus or Erymanthus, taking her pastime in the chase of boars and swift deer, and with her wild wood nymphs disport them, the daughters of Zeus, lord of the Aegis, and Leto is glad at heart, while high over all she rears her head and bows, and easily may she be known. But all are fair, even so the girl unwed outshone her maiden company. Full Metal Alchemist.
Valjeet, you okay there?
Valjeet, are you there?
My microphone I had turned it off for a second, so I could get
Oh.
water. Forgot to turn it back on. Thanks for saying something.
Well, welcome back.
All right. Full Metal Alchemist. But when now she was going homewards, after yoking the mules and folding up the goodly raiment, then grey-eyed Athena turned to the other thoughts, that so Odysseus might awake and see the lovely maiden who should be his guide to the city of the Phaeacian men. So then the princess threw the ball at one of her company. She missed the girl and cast the ball into the deep eddying current, whereat they all raised a piercing cry. Then the goodly Odysseus awoke and sat up, pondering in his heart and spirit. Woe is me, to what men's land am I come now? Say, are they froward and wild and unjust, or are they hospitable and of God-fearing mind? How shrill a cry of maidens rings around me, of the nymphs that hold the steep hilltop of this. I'm gonna try that again. Of the nymphs that hold the steep hilltops and the river springs and the grassy water meadows. It must be, methinks, that I am near men of human speech. Go to, I myself will make trial and see. Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. Therewith the goodly Odysseus crept out from under the coppice, having broken with his strong hand a leafy bough from the thick wood, to hold athwart his body, that it might hide his nakedness withal. And forth he sallied like a lion mountain bred, trusting in his strength who fares outblown and rained upon, with flaming eyes amid the kine he goes, or amid the sheep, or in the track of the wild deer. Yea, his belly bids him go even to the good homestead to make a save upon the flocks. Even so, Odysseus was fain to draw nigh to the fair-tressed maidens, all naked as he was. Such need had come upon him. But he was terrible in their eyes, being marred with the salt from sea foam, and they fled cowering here and there about the jutting spits of shore. And the daughter of Alcinous alone stood firm, for Athena gave her courage of heart, and took all trembling from her limbs. So she halted and stood over against him, and Odysseus considered whether he should clasp the knees of the lovely maiden and so make his prayer, or stand as he was apart and beseech her with smooth words, if haply she might show him the town and give him raiment. And as he thought within himself, it seemed better to stand apart and beseech her with smooth words, lest the maiden should be angered with him if he touched her knees. So straightway he spake with a sweet and cunning word. I supplicate thee, O queen, whether thou art a goddess or a mortal, if indeed thou art a goddess of them that keep the wide heaven, to Artemis then, the daughter of great Zeus, I mainly liken thee, for beauty and stature and shapeliness. But if thou art one of the daughters of men who dwell on earth, thrice blessed are thy father and thy lady mother, and thrice blessed thy brethren. Surely their souls ever glow with gladness for thy sake, each time they see thee entering the dance, so fair a flower of maidens. But he is of heart the most blessed beyond all other who shall prevail with gifts of wooing and lead thee to his home. Never have mine eyes beheld such an one among mortals, neither man nor woman. Great awe comes upon me as I look on thee. Yet in Delos once I saw a goodly thing, a young sapling of palm tree, springing by the altar of Apollo. For thither too I went, and much people with me, on the path where my sore troubles were to be. Yea, and when I looked thereupon, long time I marvelled in spirit, for never grew there yet so goodly from a shoot of the ground, even in such wise as I wonder at thee, lady, and am astonished, and do greatly fear to touch thy knees, though grievous sorrow was upon me. Yesterday, on the 20th day, I escaped from the wine dark deep, but all that time continually the wave bare me, and the vehement winds drave from the isle Ogygia, and now some god, Erymanthus, has cast me on this shore. That here too, methinks, some evil may betide me, for I trow not that trouble will cease, and the gods ere that time will yet bring many a thing to pass. But, queen, have pity on me, for after many trials and sore to thee, of all I am come, and of the other folk who hold the city and land, I know no man. Nay, show me the town, give me an old garment to cast about me, if thou hadst, when thou camest here, any wrap for the linen. And may the gods grant thee all thy heart's desire, a husband and a home and a mind, and one with his may they give. A good gift, for there is nothing mightier and nobler than man and wife are of one heart and mind in a house, a grief to their foes, and to their friends great joy, but their own hearts know it best. Full metal alchemist. Also, I just want to take a moment to appreciate the sheer brazenness that it takes to walk up to somebody, bare ass, and start saying, hey, are you a goddess? Because, like, you're gorgeous? And if you're not a goddess, if you're actually a human, which, I mean, you could be, you have the luckiest family in the world.
Can I touch your knees?
Yeah. That's the weird part. It's like...
I mean, you all know my instinct would be, of course you can bow before me, mortal. So, you know.
I guess touching knees was like a... Then.
Yeah.
Alright.
Full Metal Alchemist. Then Nausicaa of the White Arms answered him and said, Stranger, forasmuch as thou seemest no evil man nor foolish, and it is Olympian Zeus himself that giveth weal to men, to the good and to the evil, to each one as he will, and this thy lot doubtless is of him, and so thou must in any wise endure it. And now since thou hast come into our city and our land, thou shalt not lack raiment, nor aught else that is a due of a hapless suppliant, when he has met them who can befriend him. And I will show thee the town, and name the name of the people. The Phaeacians hold the city and land, and I am the daughter of Alcinous, great of heart, on whom all the might and force the Phaeacians depend. Thus she spake, pausing for the spake, and called to her maidens of the fair tresses. Halt, my maidens, whither flee ye at the sight of a man? Ye surely do not take him for an enemy. That mortal breathes not, and never will be born. Who shall come with war to the land of the Phaeacians? For they are very dear to the gods. Far apart we live in the wash of the waves, the outermost of men, and no other mortals are conversant with us. Nay, but this man is some helpless one come hither in his wanderings, whom now we must kindly entreat, for all strangers and beggars are from Zeus, and a little gift is dear. So, my maidens, give the stranger meat and drink, and bathe him in the river, wherewithal is a shelter from the winds. So she spake, but they had halted and called each other to each other. But they had halted and called each to the other. And they brought Odysseus to the sheltered place, where made him sit down, as Noska bade them, the daughter Alcinous, high of heart. Beside him they laid a mantle and a doublet for raiment, and gave him soft olive oil in the golden cruse, and bade him wash in the streams of the river. Then goodly Odysseus spake among the maidens, saying, I pray you, stand thus apart, while I myself wash the brine from my shoulders, and anoint me with olive oil, for truly olive oil is long a stranger to my skin. But in your sight I will not bathe, for I am ashamed to make me naked in the company of fair-tressed maidens. Full Metal Alchemist.
It didn't increment the spake counter. We
I
should have
know. I'm about to
28.
look at that in a second.
Grr.
It should. Well, try it again. I wonder if it's like a timing thing.
No, it's just straight up ignoring me now. How dare it?
It's Nightbots.
Nightbot.
What do you think? Well, let me try doing it in Baljeed's.
Oh, yeah. That's what you gotta do.
Your message was not sent because it's identical to the previous one less than 30 seconds ago.
We're gonna figure this out. Oh man.
Bam!
There we go.
Okay, I
That
just had to
was
say
good.
something
Yeah.
else between spake and spake.
And also be in my chat, I guess, even though it's a shared chat. That's weird.
I think it has to
maybe.
be in your chat. It's this Nightbot is specifically residing in your...
Yeah, it looks like. So, has to be Baljeet's chat, can't be Satil's. And I have to say something other than spake.
Okay, gotcha. Now lost reverse. Let's see. You said fair
Then
trust maidens.
they
Those are the
went
last things?
apart.
Yeah, your next line is, then they
Oh,
went
that's right,
apart
okay.
and told other lady.
Full Metal Alchemist. Then they went apart and told all to their lady. But with the river watered the goodly Odysseus, washed from his skin the salt scarf that covered his back and broad shoulders. And from his head he wiped the crusted brine of the barren sea. So he's salt preserved right now. But when he had washed his whole body and anointed him with olive oil and had clad himself in the raiment that the unwedded maiden gave him, then Athena, the daughter of Zeus, made him greater and more mighty to behold, and from his head caused deep curling locks to flow like the hyacinth flower. And as when some skillful man overlays gold upon silver, one that Hephaestus and Pallas Athena have taught all manner of craft, and full of grace is his handiwork, even so did Athena shed grace about his head and shoulders. Then to the shore of the sea went Odysseus, apart, and sat down, glowing in beauty and grace. And the princess marveled at him, and spake among her fair-tressed maidens, saying, Listen, my white-armed maidens, and I will say somewhat. Not without the will of all the gods, who hold Olympus hath this man come among the godlike Phaeacians. Erewhile he seemed to me uncomely, but now he is like the gods that keep the wide heaven. Would that such and one might be... Oh, I gotta click on the thing again. Oops. Such and one might be called my husband, dwelling here, and that it might please him here to abide. But come, my maidens, give the stranger meat and drink. Full Metal Alchemist.
I just want to say, for some reason, the thought of washing off the brine made me think he was covered in Old Bay seasoning, and I don't know why.
I don't know, but we've apparently got the pickled grease here, or pickled Greek.
Pickled,
Sorry,
pickled Greek pickle.
Greek pickle. Gonna end up making me hungry at this rate. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have dinner
I guess the
soon.
Mediterranean is gonna be like a bay. I don't know.
But regardless, and Shanar Kieser? Shanar Kieser? Welcome in. Good to have you here with us.
Fun is
Old Bay
easier.
Odysseus. Nice. Alright. Thus she spake, and they gave ready ear and hearkened, and sat beside Odysseus meat and drink, and the steadfast goodly Odysseus did eat and drink eagerly. It was long since he had tasted food. Now Nausicaa of the white arms had another thought. She folded the raiment and stored it in the goodly wain, and yoked the mules strong of hoof, and herself climbed into the car. Then she called on Odysseus and spake, and hailed him. Up now, stranger, and rouse thee to go to the city, that I may convey thee to the house of my wise father, where, I promise thee, thou shalt get knowledge of all the noblest of the Phaeacians. But do thou even as I tell thee, and thou seemest a discreet man enough. So long as we are passing along the fields and farms of men, do thou fare quickly with the maidens behind the mules in the chariot, and I will lead the way. But when we set foot within the city, whereby goes a high wall with towers, and there is a fair haven on either side of the town, and narrow is the entrance, and the curved ships are drawn up on either hand of the mole, for all the folk have stations for their vessels, each man one for himself. And there is the place of assembly about the goodly temple of Poseidon, furnished with heavy stones. What? Sorry, what? Poseidon. Yeah, okay. Furnished with heavy stones, deep bedded in the earth. There men look to the gear of the black ships, hawsers, and sails, and there they find down the oars, for the Phaeacians care not for bow nor quiver, but for masts, and oars of ships, and gallant barks, where in rejoicing they cross the grey sea. Their ungracious speech it is that I would avoid, lest some man afterward rebuke me, and there are but too many insolent folk among the people, and some one of the baser sort might say something terrible that my virgin ears just aren't ready to hear. Might meet me and say, "Who is this that goes with Nausicaa, this tall and goodly stranger? Where found she him? Her husband he will be, her very own. Either she has taken some shipwrecked wanderer of strange men, for no men dwell near us, or some god has come in answer to her instant prayer from heaven has he descended, and will have her to wife forevermore. Better so if herself she has ranged abroad and found a lord from a strange land, for verily she holds in no regard the Phaeacians here in this country, the many men and noble who are her wooers. So will they speak, and this would turn to my reproach. Yea, and I myself would think it blame of another maiden who did such things in despite of her friends, her father and mother still being alive, and was conversant with men before the day of open wedlock. Stranger, heed well what I say, that as soon as thou mayst gain at my father's hands an escort and safe return, thou shalt find a fair grove of Athena, a popular grove near the road, and a spring wells forth therein, and a meadow lies all around. There is my father's demesne, and his fruitful close. Close?
Yes.
Within the sound of a man's shout from the city. Sit thee down there, and wait until such time as we may have come up into the city, and reach the house of my father. But when thou deemest that we are got to the place, then go up to the city of the Phaeacians, and ask for the house of my father Alcinous, high of heart. It is easily known, and a young child could be thy guide, for nowise like it are burdened the houses of the Phaeacians, so goodly is the place of the hero Alcinous. But when thou art within the shadow of the halls in the court, pass quickly through the great chamber till thou comest to my mother, who sits at the hearth in the light of the fire, weaving yarn of sea-purple stain, a wonder to behold. Her chair is leaned against a pillar, and her maidens sit behind her. And there my father's throne leans close to hers, wherein he sits and drinks his wine like an immortal. Pass thou by him, and cast thy hands about my mother's knees, that thou mayst see quickly and with joy the day of my returning, even if thou art from a very far country. But if but her heart be kindly disposed toward thee, then there is hope that thou shalt see thy friends and come to thy well-builded house and thine own country. Full Metal Alchemist.
Congratulations, you got through her long-winded speech. Although I don't think that's the longest we've gone. I think there were longer.
Oh, that's not the longest gone by any stretch. Heck, I don't think that's the longest
But
I've
it's
gone.
definitely been Celine. It's definitely been Celine that's done the longest stretch so far.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Full Metal Alchemist. She spake, and smote the mules with the shining whip, and quickly they left behind them in the streams of the river. And well they trotted, and well they paced, and she took heed to drive in such wise that the maidens and Odysseus might follow on foot. And cunningly she plied the lash. Then the sun set, and they came to the famous grove, the sacred place of Athena. So, there the goodly Odysseus sat him down. Then straightway he prayed to the daughter of mighty Zeus. Listen to me, child of Zeus, Lord of the ages, unwearied maiden, hear me even now. Since before thou heardest, not when I was smitten on the sea, when the renowned earth-shaker smote me, grant me to come to the Phaeacians as one dear and worthy of pity. So he spake in prayer, and Pallas Athena heard him, but she did not yet appear to him face to face, for she had regard unto her father's brother, who furiously raged against the godlike Odysseus till he should come to his own country. And we're on book 7, y'all. This is too short.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I
I
was
feel
thinking it was
This
gonna be a
is
lot.
short one.
Yeah, I feel we ought to continue. Shall we take
Okay.
a brief break and come back?
If you need a break, sure.
Sure, let's do it.
Because book 7 doesn't seem like it's too long either.
And I'll
Heck
make an
yeah, we're
announcement.
gonna get through 2 tonight.
Yes, I'll make an announcement as well. To the Blueskis.
The Blueskis.
Sounds like a good plan.
Alright. Are y'all okay if I pull up some Dark Souls like last time?
I don't mind
Oh.
at all.
Sure, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead
In the break.
and take a break, yeah, though. So I could leave your stream up while you do that, yeah. Let me just switch something over.
Do it, do it, do it.
Go ahead and put your screen share up when you're ready.
Oh yeah. Let me pull that stuff up. Dark Souls.
Are you planning to broadcast it to Discord as well? Or...
Yes, that's the plan. I gotta
Heck,
get it pulled up here. Why is that not?
It's
Here we
not
go. I
working
click on
'cause the
stream.
stuff is how we know it's professional. Gotta keep the scuff going.
The scuff. The scuff continues.
Scuff a thing.
alright.
Dark Souls, yes. And then I'm gonna put the death counter up on my stream as well.
Odysseus doesn't need a death counter. He only gets the one.
He only gets the one. This is true. Alright.
Failed.
Yeah.
Gate
Oh, I'm
was
sorry. You
locked.
read the text.
No, it's fine.
Oh,
I'm gonna
Discord,
pause
why
this
do you
other
do
music
this?
anytime.
It does
What's
many
Discord doing?
things. None of them better.
The light of King. Oh, never.
No. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Oh wait, I can't see mixed up.
Well,
Dang it.
congratulations on taking down the steel demon last time.
Yeah, it was not as bad as I thought it was. So, a couple of things that had happened since last time. I went up the stairs and took out the guy throwing down the fiery explosives.
Mhm.
It might be redundant saying fiery explosives. And then it took a couple tries to take out the iron golem. Because it would knock us off the edge. I would roll and fall off the edge. But once it
Yeah.
got behind its knees, that helped.
Yeah, getting behind it, or I find locking onto its right leg, or its left leg, the one on your right, and then strafing between its legs, makes for a really easy fight. Because
Yeah,
he
once we did that,
broadcasts
it's not too bad.
all of his moves so hard that
Mm-hmm.
it works out. So, down the elevator, have you gone through on Orlando? Not too bad.
A little bit. So we killed the gargoyle at the end of this passage here.
Nice.
We
Did you
accidentally
get
killed
its
the
tail?
other one. I don't think we got its tail. We didn't aim at its tail. We did do was accidentally kill a second gargoyle with the staircase.
Sounds normal.
Those are always fun. Were you there when we accidentally killed a dragon too? Because the dragon just like I poked it a little bit too close to the edge and then it flew off on its own.
Oh, the drakes in the Valley of the Drakes. Yes.
Yes,
Love when they do
yes.
that.
I almost missed.
Yeah, that was surprising.
Oh, we also have fall control now.
Good. Very helpful
Because
spell.
we-
that.
With the amount of Rana.
That was much less of an attack than I would have expected.
Goodbye. Let's get a potion there. Last time we died in this area because we made it through here actually, but just when we got to the bottom, yeah, we can see ourselves from here actually.
Yeah.
Really.
And I believe there is a kill plane, so even with fall control, you can't just, like, ditch down through the rafters, unfortunately.
I think what had happened, there was a lot of them. In one go,
Yeah.
we got a little bit too far in.
Got too aggressive.
Yeah. It happens a lot in this game.
Does.
Ooh. Shit.
So, I usually just let them bounce off of my shield and fall to their deaths.
Note for next time. For
Okay.
sure. Alright, let's add that to the death counter.
Oh well. I'm sure you weren't going to use those souls for anything anyway.
No. Not anytime soon. There we go. Although, I really like the voice of the Firekeeper down here.
Ah, yeah, the Brass Maiden.
I was not expecting it. Because the one that's in the Firelink Shrine is not able to talk. And then the lady
And
that's
the one
in...
after Quelaag can only speak if you have a certain item.
Oh wait, there's one that's after Quelaag that's a Firekeeper?
Oh, you didn't go to that fire?
I thought we did, but maybe we didn't.
That might be
That's
in
another
one
thing we
for
get
you
to do.
later.
I I guess that's like so. We need a couple more Firekeeper souls to boost up our flasks. That'd be a good thing to do.
I mean, keeping firekeepers alive is my usual preference.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't trying to do it. Like I want to keep I didn't realize there was one down there. Is what I mean.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So yeah. So
Not that you wanted one that
We
you
go
could
to-
kill to take her soul and
oh no.
and stuff.
So I mean like the Oh, I wonder if who did we did something. Oh, well.
Well, that was not the way to do that. Do you know how to jump, by the way?
B and A together on my controller is what's supposed to be. Okay. And death to the list.
I've always found it was easiest to jump from the parapet onto the balcony.
That
Or
would
the
make
flying
more
balcony.
sense. Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. I need to move the images because right now you are. I'm sorry. On stream, you're just on the side with the teal. I just noticed that. You were cut on stream. There we go.
I'm somebody's
better.
side babe.
Could never happen. It was an accident. Did I not click back into the? Let's try that again. It's very common for the scuffs here. Got some nice bardcore going last stream.
Ooh, what you have think?
What was it? It was. I feel like Green Day was on there for some reason for part of it. What else? So Bohemian Rhapsody.
Like, were they just?
Take
doing-
on Me.
Oh,
No. That was funny because we're getting to a group with that one taking on those smaller iron golems. I'm not sure what you call. Are they a kind of soldier?
Oh, the
I'm
giants?
not sure what they would be called. Yes. Hello, lack of souls. Ooh,
Yay, you survived.
somehow. Oh, well, let's lock on here.
Using those heavy thrusts.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, it dropped something.
Did it?
They sometimes drop their curved sword, which is a fun weapon that also deals some bleeding damage.
Ooh, I like some bleed. That's helpful. Throwing knife. Yeah, there's been a lot of throwing knives going around.
Yeah,
No
that
curved
doesn't
swords as
seem-
yet.
I wonder what happens if you
Busts.
oral decoy at one of those goobers while you're up here. I've never
Let's
tried it
try.
myself. That's not a
Also,
spell I
like, we
normally.
do have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That's not a spell I normally use. You said you do have?
I feel like we had something we got from one of the snakes. Curved sword.
Oh, a flamberge?
Shield.
Oh, the shuttle? Do you
Mhm.
have the dexterity for that one?
Mm,
Looks like.
I've been
So
dumping
you
most of
can
my stuff
use it.
into Dex
Um,
and Strength with it.
Yeah, it's not
I
one
feel
that I
like
normally
there's no-
use, but if I remember right, the heavy attack can ignore shields. Most enemies don't use shields, but if you're facing something like a Baldur Knight, the heavy attack is supposed to go. Well, none of
How
them even
close do
noticed
we
it.
need?
How dare.
Hey, more.
really aren't the most reactive, are they?
No. Interesting. Can I hit you directly? Is that possible? I really want to go over there.
You can try locking onto it. It does.
Here we go.
Oh, there we go.
Let's see if we can aim just underneath. There it is.
Oh, that needs a clip.
Fantastic. There we go. This is one of my favorite spells. It has saved me a lot of trouble in this game. Let me myself not fall off the edge though. That's key.
Yeah, not falling off there is always a bit of a trick.
Yes! 2 of them. Okay, can we go for a third? I don't know, I guess not yesterday. When I played this last, I guess the music pumped me up enough where I was not nervous about walking on these, but dear goodness, I feel like I'm just gonna fall in the quickest seconds. Go over there. Ooh. I was not even watching my health. Wow. I was so concerned with not falling. Okay.
Which shield are you using? Oh, is that the grass crash shield?
It is. I like it because it boosts my stamina back up.
Sure.
And very, very helpful.
Generally a very useful.
Alright. Oh, I can click back to the
One more time. Celebration.
Gonna celebrate. Yeah.
Gonna be
Why is this? There we go. Now I'm clicked in. Let's go. Aural decoy on our side. Ooh, thank you, elevator. Just in time. I made a post on Blue Sky recently that said something along the lines of how I've been enjoying this game so much I don't want to say I'm addicted to playing it, but I definitely want to play it every time I stream now.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem with some games on stream is you get used to them, and it's I just want to keep rolling with this, but I gotta save it for the content. Sometimes if there's something like shards that you need to farm, you can do the farming portion online, but it's not as engaging anyways.
Ooh,
Oh, you made it.
every time.
You've got your catalyst out, by the way.
Ow. Hey.
Ooh, 2 hints. I strongly approve.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, when it's long enough, you gotta grip it with both hands.
It is. I feel like that applies very much so to this game. As a potential other situations too, but definitely this game. How close we need to get for you realize we're here.
A little too low. Ooh. You aimed a little too low, immediately aims lower. And he goes for it anyway.
Hey, how low can you go?
Alright, you've got your spear out now.
Oh!
Sorry! I didn't mean to distract you!
What's happening?
Baljeet was going through, and because the spear and the tin banishment catalyst look almost exactly the same,
Oh.
I pointed out that Baljeet had his spear out in anticipation of melee combat, but he's been using oral decoy to make the painting guardians jump off of the parapets to their deaths. And so I pointed out the catalyst was out, or the spear was out. He switches the catalyst and immediately walks off of the ledge.
It's a common theme.
Before you get into this next attempt, do we want to continue on?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back.
Probably appropriate. Why do you have to go back?
I don't know.
It saves automatically.
Either way.
It's like, I'll just look at this up and we'll click out of the game.
Whatever gives you.
Actually, no. Just kidding. My computer's random.
I mean, Alt F4 gives you the closure, but...
Yeah, it's true.
Of course it's true. I said it.
Of course it's true. Celine Heidelman said it. That should be the next meme.
How? What would you even do to make that a meme?
I'll just start saying it randomly. If anyone questions me, I'll be like, of course it's true. Celine Heidelman said it. And then I'll send them to you.
No. We are not putting words in my mouth. Nope. Nope. None of that.
You got the West Coast, I got the East Coast. There we go.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you a bap there. No putting words in my mouth. I don't do this on the stage. And you know that's true because I said it.
Yep, because Celine Heidelman said so.
Alright, so who do we want to lead off on book 7? Choose
I'll
your
do it.
fighter. Satil!
Yup.
Yeah.
That's my fighter
A
sound.
music.
Round
Whenever-
2. Book!
Are we ready?
We are ready.
Ready.
Crazy little thing called Book 7.
Crazy little thing called Book 7.
Book 7. Odysseus being received at the house of the King Alcinous. The Queen after supper. Taking notice of his garments give him occasion to relate his passage thither on the raft. Alcinous promises him a convoy for the morrow. So he prayed there, the steadfast, goodly Odysseus, while the 2 strong mules bear the princess to the town. And when she had now come to the famous palace of her father, she halted at the gateway. Round her gathered her brothers, men like to the immortals, and they loosed the mules from under the car, and carried the raiment within. But the maiden betook her to her chamber, and an aged dame from Aperia kindled the fire for her. Eurymedusa, the hand of the chamber. Sorry, that term really threw me off. Whom the curved ships upon a time had brought from Aperia, and they appeared from Aperia. The men chose her as a prize for Alcinous, seeing that he bare rule over all the Phaeacians, and the people hearkened to him as a god. She waited on the white-armed Nausicaa in the palace hall. Very important that she's white-armed. She was wont to kindle the fire and prepare the supper in the inner chamber. At the same time, Odysseus roused him to go to the city. Stylin', whilin', living it up in the city. And Athena shared a deepness about Odysseus for the favor that she bare him, lest any of the Phaeacians High of Heart should meet him and mock him in sharp speech and ask him who he was. But when he was now about to enter the pleasant city, then the goddess, gray-eyed Athena, met him in the fashion of a young maiden carrying a pitcher, and she stood over against him, and goodly Odysseus inquired of her, "My child, wouldst thou not lead me to the palace of Lord Alcinous, who bears sway among his people? Lo, I am come here, a stranger travel-worn from afar, from a distant land, whereof the folk who possess the city and country I know not any man." Then the goddess great Athena answered him and said, "Yea, now, father and stranger, I will show thee to the house that bids me declare, for it lies near the palace of my noble father. Behold, be silent as thou goest, and I will lead the way. And look on no man, nor question any, for these men do not gladly suffer strangers, nor lovingly entreat whoso cometh from a strange land. Prejudice. They trust to the speed of their swift ships, wherewith they cross the great gulf, for the earth-shaker hath vouchsafed them this power. Their ships are swift as the flight of a bird, or as a thought. Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. Therewith Pallas Athena led the way swiftly, and he followed hard in the footsteps of the goddess. And in it came to pass that the Phaeacians, mariners renowned, marked him not as he went down the city through their midst. For the fair-tressed Athena suffered it not, that awful goddess, who shed a wondrous mist about him, for the favor that she bare him in heart. And Odysseus marveled at the havens and the gallant ships, yea, and the places of assembly of the heroes, and the long high walls crowned with palisades, a marvel to behold. But when they had now come to the famous palace, the king, the goddess great Athena, spake first and said, "Lo, here, father and stranger, is the house that thou wouldest have me show thee, and thou shalt find kings at feast, the fosterlings of Zeus. Enter then, and fear not in thine heart, for the dauntless man is the best in every adventure, even though he come from a strange land. Thou shalt find the queen first in the hall. Arete is the name whereby men call her, and she even and came
It might
and
be
she came
Arete.
even Arete? I was thinking similar to Crete.
Oh,
So,
maybe.
Arete?
So, Arete? Arete?
Arete?
I think if you're
Arete
going off of
is-
Crete, I say Arete.
And Arete. I wasn't thinking, yeah. Arete is a name whereby men call her, and she came even of those that begat the king, Alcinous. First, Nausithous was son of Poseidon, the Earthshaker, and of Paraboa.
Paraboa.
Paraboa, the comeliest of women, youngest daughter of great-haired Eurymedon, who once was king among the haughty giants. Howbeit, he destroyed the infatuate people. Infatuate? My bad. Howbeit,
He destroyed his infatuate.
his infatuate people,
Yeah.
and was himself destroyed. But Poseidon lay with Paraboa, and begat a son, proud
Nausithous.
who sometime was prince among the Phaeacians, and Nausithous begat Rhexenor and Alcinous.
Getting all the
Oh,
fun names.
Rhexenor. Yes. And well, Rhexenor had as yet no son. Apollo of the silver bow smote him. A groom new-wed, leaving in his halls one only child, Arete.
Arete.
Arete, oh my god. Arete and Alcinous took her to wife and honored her as no other woman in the world is honored. Of all that is nowadays keep house under the hand of their lords. That she hath, and hath ever had, all worship heartily from her dear children, and from her lord Alcinous, and all the folk who look on her as on a goddess, and greet her with a reverent speech when she goes about the town. Yea, for she too hath no lack of understanding, to whomso she shows favor, even if they be men. she ends their feuds. If Butterheart be kindly disposed to thee, then there is good hope that thou mayest see thy friends, and come to thy high-roofed home in thine own country. Full Metal Alchemist.
I love that this is being spoken by like some strange sassy child. Like just, oh yes, I'm going to casually relate to you all the political details, including why you need to schmooze with the queen of this town. Cause, you know, this isn't suspicious behavior for a child at all.
Yeah, she's in the disguise, right?
Yeah, she's disguised as a small sassy child.
Yeah.
Odysseus is just too sea-baked right now.
Really is. Full Metal Alchemist. Therewith grey-eyed Athene departed over the unharvested seas, and left pleasant Scheria, and came to Marathon in wide-wayed Athens, and entered the good house of Erechtheus. Meanwhile Odysseus went to the famous place of Alcinous, and his heart was full of many thoughts as he stood there, or ever he had reached the threshold of bronze. For there was a gleam as if it were of sun or moon through the high roofed hall of great-hearted Alcinous. Brazen were the walls which ran this way and that from the threshold to the inmost chamber, and round them was a frieze of blue, and golden were the doors that closed in the good house. Silver were the doorposts that were set on the brazen threshold, and silver the lintel thereupon, and the hook of the door was of gold. And on either side stood golden hounds in silver, which Hephaestus wrought by his cunning, guard the palace of great-hearted Alcinous, being free from death and age all their days. And within were seats arrayed against the walls this way and that, from the threshold even to the inmost chamber, and thereon were spread light coverings finely woven, the handiwork of women. There the Phaeacian chieftains were wont to sit, eating and drinking, for they had continual store. Yea, and there were youths fashioned in gold, sitting on firm set bases with flaming torches in their hands, giving light through the night to the feasters of the palace. And he had 50 handmaids in the house, and some grind the yellow grain on the millstone, and others weave webs and turn the yarn as they sit, restless as the leaves of the tall poplar tree. And the soft olive oil drops off that linen so closely is it woven. For as the Phaeacian men are skilled beyond all others in driving a swift ship upon the deep, even so are women the most cunning at the loom, for Athena hath given them notable wisdom in all fair handiwork and cunning wit. And without the courtyard, hard by the door, is a great garden. Off our plough gates a hedge runs round on either side, and there grow tall trees blossoming, pear trees and pomegranates and apple trees with bright fruit, and sweet figs and olives in their bloom. The fruit of these trees never perisheth, and neither falleth, winter nor summer, enduring through all the year. Evermore the west wind blowing brings them fruit to birth, and ripens others. Pear upon pear waxes old, and apple upon apple. Yea, and cluster ripens upon cluster of the grape, and the fig upon fig. There too hath he a fruitful vineyard planted, whereof the one part is being dried by the heat, a sunny plot on level ground, while other grapes are gathering, and yet others they are treading in the winepress. In the foremost row are unripe grapes that cast the blossom, and others there be that are growing black to vintage. There too, skirting the furthest line, are all manner of garden beds, planted trimly, that are perpetually fresh, and therein are 2 fountains of water, whereof one scatters his streams all about the garden, and the other runs over against beneath the threshold of the courtyard, and issues by the lofty house, and thence did the townsfolk draw water. These were the splendid gifts of the gods in the palace of Alcinous, Full Metal Alchemist.
Woo! Full Metal Alchemist. There the steadfast goodly Odysseus stood and gazed. Like that. But when he had gazed at all and wondered, he passed quickly over the threshold within the house, and he found the captains and the counselors of the Phaeacians pouring forth wine to the keen-sighted god, slayer of Argus. for to him they poured the last cup when they were minded to take rest. Now the steadfast goodly Odysseus went through the hall, clad in a thick mist, when Athena shed around him, till he came to Arete and the king Alcinous. And Odysseus cast his hands at the knees of Arete. And then it was that the wondrous mist melted off from him, and a silence fell on them that were within the house at the sight of him, and they marveled as they beheld him. Then Odysseus began his prayer. Arete, daughter of godlike Rhexenor, after many toils am I come to thy husband, and to thy knees, and to these guests, and may the gods vouchsafe them a happy life, and may each one leave to his children after him his substance in his halls, and whatever dues of honor the people have rendered unto him. But speed, I pray you, my parting, that I may come the more quickly, to my own country, for already too long do I suffer affliction far from my friends. Therewith he sat him down by the hearth in the ashes at the fire. And behold, a dead silence fell on all. Yeah, he's talking about some gross stuff, And at last, the ancient lord Echenius spake among them. An elder of the Phaeacians, excellent in spaking, and skilled in much wisdom of old time. With good will he make harangue, and spake among them. Alcinous, this truly is not the more seemly way, nor is it fitting that the stranger should sit upon the ground in the ashes by the hearth, while these men refrain them, waiting thy word. Nay, come, bid the stranger arise, and set him on a chair inlaid with silver, and command the henchmen to mix the wine, that we may pour forth likewise before Zeus, whose joy is in the thunder, who attendeth upon reverend suppliance, and let the housewife give supper to the stranger out of such stores be within. Now when the mighty king Alcinous heard this saying, he took Odysseus the wise and crafty by the hand, and raised him from the hearth, and set him on a shining chair, whence he... is that the lost entry to the Shining Force series, Shining Chair? Excuse me. Whence he bade his son give place, valiant Laodamas. Laodamus. I'm going to say Laodamus.
Sure.
Laodamus, who sat next him and was his dearest. And a handmaid bare water for the hands in a goodly golden ewer, and poured it forth over a silver basin to wash withal. Drew to his side a polished table, and a grave dame, bare wheaten bread, and set it by him, and laid upon the board many dainties, giving freely of such things as she had by her. So the steadfast goodly Odysseus did eat and drink, and then the mighty Alcinous spake unto the henchmen. Pontonous, mix the bowl and serve out the wine to all in the hall. We may pour forth likewise before Zeus, whose joy is in the thunder, whose attendeth upon reverend suppliance. I'm gonna keep going. So spake he, and Pontonous mixed the honey-hearted wine, and served it out to all, when he had poured for libation into each cup in turn. But when they had poured forth, and had drunken to their heart's content, Alcinous made harangue, and spake among them.
Spake.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. Hear me, ye captains and counselors of the Phaeacians, that I may speak as my spirit bids me. Now that the feast is over, go ye home and lie down to rest, and in the morning we will call yet more elders together, and entertain the stranger in the halls, and do fair sacrifice to the gods, and thereafter we will likewise bethink us of the convoy that so without pain or grief yonder stranger may by our convoy reach his own country speedily and with joy, even though he be from very far away. So shall he suffer no harm or so shall he suffer no hurt or harm in mid-passage, ere he set foot on his own land, but thereafter he shall endure such things as fate. And the stern spinning woman drew off the spindles for him at his birth, when his mother bare him. But if he is some deathless god come down from heaven, then do the gods herein imagine some new device against us. For always heretofore the gods appear manifest among us, whensoever we offer glorious hecatombs, and they feast by our side, sitting at the same board. Yea, and even if a wayfarer going all alone has met with them, they use no disguise, since we are near of kin to them, even as are to the Cyclopes and the wild tribes of the giants. And Odysseus, of many counsels, answered him, saying, Alcinous, that thought be far from thee, for I bear no likeness either in form or fashion to the deathless gods, who keep wide heaven, but to men that die. Whomsoever ye know of humankind, the heaviest laden with sorrow, to them I might liken myself and my griefs. Yea, and I might tell of yet other woes, even the long tale of toil that by the gods will I endure. But as for me, suffer me to sup, afflicted as I am, for naught is there more shameless than a ravening belly, which biddeth a man perforce be mindful of him. Let one be worn and sorrowful in spirit, even as I have of a sorrow heart. Yet evermore he biddeth me eat and drink, and maketh me utterly to forget all my sufferings, and commandeth me to take my fill. But do ye bestir you at the breaking of the day, that so ye may set me, hapless as I am, upon my country's soil, albeit after much suffering. Ah, and may life leave me when I have had sight of mine own possession, my thralls, and my dwelling that is great and high. Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. So he spake, and they all assented thereto, and bade him send the stranger on his way, for that he had spoken aright. Now when they had poured forth and had drunken to their heart's content, they went each one to his house to later them to rest. But goodly Odysseus was left behind in the hall, and by him sat Arete and the godlike Alcinous, and the maids cleared away the furniture of the feast. And the white-armed Arete first spake among them, for she knew the mantle and the doublet, when she saw the goodly raiment that she herself had wrought with the women her handmaids. So she uttered her voice and spake to him with winged words. Spake.
She spake a lot.
Sir, I am bold to ask thee first of this. Who art thou of the sons of men, and whence? Who gave thee these raiment? Didst thou not say indeed that thou comest hither wandering over the deep? Then Odysseus of many counsels answered her and said,
"'Tis hard, O queen, to tell my griefs from end to end, for that the gods of heaven might have given me griefs in plenty. But this will I declare thee, whereof thou dost question and inquire, there is an isle, Ogygia, that lies far off in the sea. There dwells the daughter of Atlas, crafty Calypso of the braided tresses, and awful gods. Nor is any either of gods or mortals conversant with her. Howbeit some god brought me to her hearth. Wretched I am, all alone, for that Zeus with white bolt crushed my swift ship and cleft it in the midst of the wine dock. There all the rest of my good company was lost, but I clung with fast embrace about the keel of the curved ship, and so was I borne for 9 whole days. And on the 10th dark night the gods brought me nigh the isle of Ogygia, where Calypso of the braided tresses dwelled. Awful goddess! She took me in, and with all care she cherished me, and gave me win my heart within me. There I abode for 7 years continuing, watered with my tears the imperishable raiment that Calypso gave me. But when the 8th year came round in his course, then at last she urged and bade me to be gone by reason of a message from Zeus, or it may be that her own mind was turned. So she sent me forth on a well-bound raft, and gave me plenteous store of bread and sweet wine, and she clad me in imperishable raiment, and set forth a warm and gentle wind to blow. For 10 days and 7 I say, traversing the deep, and on the 18th day the shadowy hills of your lands showed. And my heart was glad, wretched that I was, for surely I was still to be the mate of much sorrow. For Poseidon, shaker of the earth, stirred up the same, who roused against me in the winds, and stopped, and made a wondrous sea well, nor did the wave buffer me to be borne upon my raft as I made ceaseless moan. Thus the storm winds shattered the raft, but as for me, I cleft my way through the gulf yonder, till wind bare and water brought me nigh your coast. Then as I strove to land upon the shore, the wave had overwhelmed me, dashing against the rocks in a desolate place. But at length I gave way and swam back, till I came to the river, where the place seemed best in my eyes, smooth of rocks, and withal there was a shelter from the wind. And as I came out, I sank down, gathering to me my spirit, and immortal night came on. Then I gat me forth and away from the heaven-fed river, and laid me to sleep in the bushes and strewed leaves about, that the gods shed over me. Sleep. There among the leaves I slept, stricken at heart, always the night long, even till the morning and midday. And the sun sank, the sweet sleep let me free, and I was aware of the company of thy daughter disporting them upon the sand. And there was she in the midst of them, like unto the goddess. To her I made my supplication, and she showed me no lack of good understanding, behaving so as thou couldst not hope for in chancing upon one so young. The younger folk lack wisdom always. She gave me bread enough and red wine, and let me wash in the river, and bestowed on me these garments. Herein, albeit in sore distress, have I told thee all the truth.
And Alcinous answered again and spake, saying,
Sir, surely this was no right thought of my daughter, in that she brought thee not to our house with the women her handmaids, though thou didst first entreat her grace.
And Odysseus, of many counsels, answered and said to him,
My lord, chide not, I pray thee, for this the blameless maiden. For indeed she bade me follow with her company, but I would not for fear and very shame, lest perchance thine heart might be clouded by pride. Jealous race upon the earth are we, the tribe. Full metal, out.
So, is he mad at Calypso for keeping there for so long, and then all of a sudden just saying, "You gotta get out"? Is that what he's so pissed off about?
He's mad at his daughter for not escorting him to the palace. And he's
No.
pointing out... Or, wait.
So
You're asking if Odysseus is pissed that she just kind of yeeted him out of there?
Yeah, Calypso, after 7 years, that she was like, "You gotta go." Is that why he's mad at her?
I mean, he's mad at her because she kept him trapped for so long. He doesn't know why she stopped keeping him, but, you know, that matters far less than, damn it, she kept me prisoner on an island for 7 years and wouldn't let me
7 years.
go. Also, it did say earlier that he was not her willing bedmate, if I'm remembering right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
Sussy Calypso.
oof.
Full Metal Alchemist. And Alcinous answered yet again, and spake, saying, Sir, my heart within me is not of such temper as to have been wroth without a cause. Due measure in all things is best. Would to Father Zeus and Athena and Apollo would that so goodly a man as thou art, and like-minded with me, thou wouldst wed my daughter, and be called my son, here abiding. So would I give thee house and wealth, if thou wouldst stay of thine own will. But against thy will shall none of the Phaeacians keep thee. Never be this well-pleasing in the eyes of Father Zeus. And now I ordain an escort for thee on a certain day, and that thou mayest surely know, and that day, the morrow, then shall thou Then shalt thou lay thee down, overcome by sleep, and they, while the... Oh, man, I was being so deliberate, and I still messed up. And they the while shall smite the calm waters, till thou come to thy country and thy house. And whatsoever place is dear to thee, even though it be much farther than Uboa. How did we do this again? Uboa. Uboa. Which certain of our men say is the farthest of the lands. They who saw it when they carried Rhadamanthus with the fair hair to visit Tityos, son of Gaia. Even thither they went and accomplished the journey on the self-same day and won home again, were not weary. And now shalt thou know for thyself how far my ships are the best, how my young men excel at tossing the salt water with the oar blade. So spake he, and the steadfast goodly Odysseus rejoiced. And then he uttered a word in prayer, and called aloud to Zeus, Father Zeus! Oh, that Alcinous may fulfill all that he hath said. So may his fame never be quenched upon the earth, the grain giver, and I should come to mine own land. Thus they spake one to the other, and white-armed Arete bade her handmaids set out bedsteads beneath the gallery, and cast fair purple blankets over them, and spread coverlets above, and thereon lay thick mantles to be a clothing over all. So they went from the hall with torch in hand, but when they had busied themselves and spread the good bedstead, they stood by Odysseus and called unto him, saying, Up now, stranger, and get thee to sleep. Thy bed is made. So spake they. It seemed to him that rest was wondrous good. So he slept there, the steadfast goodly Odysseus, on the jointed bedstead beneath the echoing gallery. But Alcinous laid him down in the innermost chamber of the high house, and by him the lady his wife arrayed bedstead and bedding, and that is book 7. Wow.
Heck yeah. 2 books, 1 night.
Okay, I think my dinner is here, so if you guys are down to continue after dinner.
How long this book is, real quick, because it's...
Sure.
I am being slowly driven insane by the noise from next door, and am probably going to need to scoot off sooner than later here.
Then let us let us resign for now.
That's a good place to call it then.
Yeah, sorry about that, but thank you everyone so much for joining in. I really appreciated getting to read this. Y'all are fantastic.
This is fun.
And it's nice to be able to go through this with a group.
Oh yeah. I think
Because it
everything
can
is better
fade
with
in.
friends.
Oh, this can fade into noise so easily if I'm just reading it by myself.
I was being
thank you
lulled
very-
to sleep in a good way by Celine's narration. It was very good bedtime story vibes.
Well, thank you. At any rate, yeah, so you'll have a wonderful time. I will try and pop back as I'm able, but this is likely to go until midnight, and I need to break from it, or I might not make it past midnight.
I'm
So,
gonna go ahead and stop my stream, and I'll just raid over to Baljeet.
Sounds good.
Until then, bye everyone. Thanks for joining.
Bye, have a good one.
Later, y'all. Alright, so let us go over to Baljeet. You're welcome for reading. You're welcome. That was fun. Bayfinger and Baljeet. I'm sure he will be playing Dark Souls. Alright. Everybody, have a good evening. It's been a long day for me. Did 2 streams today. It's crazy. Anyways, good evening, good weekend, and everybody get some good rest. I'm gonna go eat my dinner. my dinner. Alright. Later.